Just as I said it would, it's coming. Hey, this is Forrest. This video that I'm posting is, anybody can watch it, obviously, it's on YouTube. But the clients that we have here at Lynn Realty and Management, I really want them to make sure they pay attention. And I'm going to email this link to every one of them. There's something happening in Jacksonville's rental market, and it's another layer of oversight that the city now is going to have into the rental market. Good? Probably not. Bad? Probably. And why do I say that? Because it's going to be weaponized. And I can see this getting legs. When you read the two screenshots that I'm going to post, I'm going to leave them up for a while in the video. I can see this gaining legs. I can see this leading into some sort of licensing of rental properties for all rental properties. Right now, if you have a HUD property, or maybe something that's been paid by some like Veterans Administration or something, paying for something which they typically go through HUD, there's inspection processes. They come out and make sure they have heating and air and different things, electrical plugs work and all, and that's great. And everybody should be following that. I mean, you shouldn't let anybody live in squalor in what I like to call sometimes desperation destinations. You really shouldn't have that as a landlord, and we don't. And I've said this a bunch of times to my clients that at Lynn Realty, I'm not going to suffer from microphone disease. There are people out there that will suffer from microphone disease, and what will happen with this city ordinance coming about is I believe you're going to see some microphone disease out there. That's when a reporter comes up and asks you, well, what do you think about so-and-so's apartment? You've been back there 3 times and they keep begging for this and that, and you're not doing anything about it. That's going to happen. It already happens to an extent, but with this, and especially with the licensing part, kind of like restaurants, I think you're going to see some sort of model that's similar to a restaurant. And with this licensing model that I believe is going to come along behind this, it's going to really put a stressor on the management of those properties. And when I say that, I mean, like, whoever's managing the property is going to need to have a really good maintenance company behind them, like what we use. So we use Works Rental Fix, really good maintenance company. They have licensed HVAC guys, they have licensed electricians, they have plumbers, they have drywall guys, they have everything there at our disposal. And they're a company, and they have liability insurance and all the things that you need as a company. And you're going to have to really lean hard on them, because you're going to have to make sure that everything that comes in, and like our system, when somebody has a maintenance request, it goes through our system. Everything that comes in is handled in a timely manner. Now, with us, what we do is we have this system that runs, and it notifies like 3 or 4 or 5 different people every time they put in a maintenance request, and somebody's going to get back to them. I mean, sometimes people put those maintenance requests at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, not calling them at 3 o'clock in the morning, but there's somebody going to get back to them at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning pretty quickly and set something up and get them in there to do the repairs. But when you have legislation comes down that says you must do something, that actually adds a layer of leverage. Now, when I say this, I'm not talking about a layer of leverage for a tenant to make a bad landlord good, and that could be a positive side effect. What it does is it makes a bad tenant worse. What do I mean by that? We already suffer from this problem. You'll have a tenant that'll get behind on their rent, and then everything's wrong with the place. When you put a 3-day notice on there. So when they weren't paying the rent, they missed the rent, you didn't hear from them. It was crickets. Didn't hear from them again. But as soon as you go post that 3-day note on there, their door says, hey, you got to get out of here, pay your rent in 3 days. That's when it goes south. And they don't have the rent, so they're still not going to pay it. And so you enter into the eviction process. And I made videos on how that works. But in the eviction process, they get to plead their case to the judge. Now, people think, well, they have to post the money, the rent with the court first, and then get before the judge. No. They don't have to do that. They can actually write a letter and say, Your Honor, I don't have the money for rent because I've spent it trying to take care of this crazy, junky place or this desperation destination or whatever you want to call it. They can do that. And what will happen now is you'll see that more often. You'll see the tenants complaining during the eviction process. You'll have the tenants calling code enforcement on things. because this is going to be highly publicized. And then once this kicks off and leads into some licensing and annual or even maybe semi-annual, but annual inspections or maybe annuals every 2 years, inspections every 2 years. Once that begins to happen, the hope is that they'll keep these slumlords out of the business. The problem is it's just a layer of things hoops you got to jump through. In my mind, the licensing that's going to come along with this is going to be tough. It's going to have these inspections. So the reason that we've always got on top of the maintenance request right away and spend the money to get them done and get them done right the first time is because when this stuff comes up, the clients that we have, they're already protected. They already have a good, clean record. There's nobody out there saying bad things. We won't have anything wrong with it. But for the landlords out there that haven't been doing that, and this reinforces what I said about our policy of not winding up with microphone disease. Thank you for watching.